pretty good at climbing. Look at this. Hey, this is Pat with Off the Maps, and I am here to talk about my used, but new for me, 2023 Epic Evo Pro. I didn't see a lot of videos about the actual ride dynamics of this specific bike and this specific model, so I thought, even though it's a used bike, it would probably be good to go over, especially since this is kind of the last of its kind now that Specialized is going toward the Epic 8, which in my opinion is quite a different bike to this one. This is the model just below the S-Works, and I purchased it used and actually got a really good deal on it. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have got it. So it wasn't just for the frame, but it was also for the components that it comes with. The full Fox layout between the dropper post, the rear suspension, and the fork here. The ride characteristics of this bike are actually exactly what I want. I've upgraded from a 2019 Epic Expert, which is similar but different to this. That was one of the earlier Evo models of the Epic, and then the geometry was still much more cross-country oriented. I'm about 5'9", or I think 177 centimeters, something like that, which means I would typically ride a medium, but I can also fit onto a large. So the 2019 Epic Expert that I had, the Epic Evo Expert, was a medium, and I felt significantly more closed on it. It was a lot more nimble and quick. But with some of the style of riding I've been doing lately, I actually wanted to upgrade to this modern geometry, plus go to a large. So I've kind of doubled the ability for me to do more technical, stable sort of riding. And I've actually found that very fun. It's worked really well. In order to kind of close that gap too, I also pushed in the stem. So this bike is mostly stock, except for I pushed the stem back. And I have to say I'm really, really happy with this so far. To continue talking about the ride characteristics of this, let's start on pavement. On pavement, I don't feel like I need the brain anymore. This has no remote lockout. It has a manual lockout both on the fork and the rear, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Keeps the cockpit cleaner, keeps the back end cleaner, and the bike in general is just simpler. I'm totally okay with this. The only time I feel it's needed is if I'm on the road for an extended period of the time. 90% of the time that I've been riding this, I've just been leaving it in the middle mode, and that has been totally fine. If I'm really doing something tough, I'll open it up, and I don't need the brain anymore. It was cool, I like it, but for simplicity's sake, I think it's totally fine to be gone. That's it for pavement. Now if we talk about gravel and sort of light trail things, that medium mode is excellent. This bike really excels at that. I guess it could be a little snappier. I might find it a little bit more fun to ride a more nimble bike in areas like that, but I'm happy to kind of give that up in order to have this greater stability. Because I was finding with the other bike that I did feel limited on some more technical things, and I do not feel that way anymore. And the only thing that's changed is the geometry. The front fork still has the same travel, it's still 120, and the rear's only added 10 millimeters. So somehow just those simple changes have allowed me to feel significantly more comfortable on technical riding on this. For bikes I've ridden for technical riding, this is the best bike I've ever ridden. Of course you can get a trail bike, but I don't want to go to a trail bike. I still want it to feel fast and efficient, and this somehow hits exactly where I want to be. I think it's just a combination of the geometry and just the right amount of travel and volume in the forks for me. So I think I finally found the bike that I really wanted. The Canyon Trail Luxe just didn't feel quite right. It has similar geometry, but I don't know, there was something about it that was off. The cockpit was messy with all the remote lockouts. And then the Epic Evo Expert, I really liked that, the 2019, but it was just a little too nervous on some of the more technical stuff. But this really hits where I'd like to be. As I said, this is the Pro, so this is some of the highest end components you can get on it, aside from the S-Works. Everything on this is stock, with the exception of the handlebar. I just switched this actually because it was easier to switch the handlebar and the stem, so I have a shorter stem on this. It comes with a 60 mil, I put a 40 mil on, and that's again to compensate for me riding a large frame instead of a medium. Yeah, everything else I believe is stock. So let's go over it really quickly. From the top here, you get the Specialized power saddle, Fox factory transfer seat posts, which I really like. I have it on my Chumba as well. You get the Fox Float 110 travel DPS here, and then the fork over here is the 34 Fox factory, which I'm super happy with. Both of the shocks have a 3-position change so you can go from open to medium to a full lockout. For the brakes, we have the SRAM G2, front and rear, obviously, and they are four piston. And I believe they've actually upgraded the size, the diameter of the rotors on both the front and the rear as well. We're also getting carbon cranks with this, and it did come with a carbon, I think 760 mil handlebar as well. This is an NV760, but the Specialized one comes with a 760 stock as well. So it's really not any different. It's just this is a little bit more narrow. The other's a bit wider. It's also coming with the SRAM X01 electronic shifting. This is my first bike with electronic shifting, and I was really nervous about it, but I almost hate to say that it works really damn well. It really does. It just goes. I'm not psyched about the battery. I think I might change it out unless I really fall in love with it over the next few rides. But it is pretty simple and works really well. And we have the Specialized Roval control. I think these are 29 inner width, so fairly wide. I would say perfect cross-country, kind of down-country width on that. And we've got a fast track control in the front and a Renegade in the rear. I actually kind of like these tires. I don't trust Specialized tires that much for a lot of technical riding because they're light, and with that you risk the chance to break some of the sidewalls, but I'll give them a try since they already have some wear on them. My review is getting cut short because it started to rain, so I'm on my way out here. But I just want to conclude and say that this bike feels like a significant upgrade, going from the Expert to the Pro, going from the 2019 to the 2023. So these bikes are really expensive. I think if you see them on sale, which you might now since everybody's going up to probably the Epic 8, and everybody's trying to get rid of inventory, or you might find one for sale. I think this is a perfectly fine bike, very capable, not missing much on the XC unless you really like lockouts and the feeling of nimbleness and pedaling efficiency. This has a little bit less of that, but it's still a very stable and fast bike. So you're giving it up, I think, for the right reasons. And yeah, that's it. I hope this helps you find a bike that you love to ride. It's definitely doing that for me. I'll come back. This is literally my third ride on this bike, and maybe do a long-term review in a few months. Okay, bye.